Hello everyone, welcome to the US Immigration News. From the month of October, a wave of big changes from USCIS that will affect nearly every immigrant community in America. Green card applicants, work permit holders, and families waiting on decisions are all waking up to news that the timelines, rules, and priorities have shifted once again. Some doors are being opened, others are being slammed shut, and the people caught in the middle are the families who depend on this system for their future. In this video, we'll break down the new USCIS changes effective from October 2025, what they mean for green card applicants, work permit seekers, and families navigating the immigration maze, and why these updates are sparking concern across immigrant communities. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. The Trump administration's latest set of USCIS updates comes after months of pressure to show results on immigration enforcement and legal reforms. With elections looming in 2026, the administration is making immigration a centerpiece of its agenda. What makes October different is that the new USCIS guidance touches multiple categories all at once: green card backlogs, work permit renewals, and processing timelines. For green card applicants, the biggest headline is a change in how USCIS is handling adjustment of status cases. Until now, many applicants who filed I-485s after long waits were told to expect processing within a year to 18 months. But USCIS has now extended its projected timelines for many categories. Family-based adjustments, which are linked to I-130 approvals, are seeing additional delays as files are subjected to new background reviews. Employment-based green card applicants, especially those in the EB2 and EB3 categories, are also reporting that interviews are being rescheduled, with cases sent back for additional checks. Officers have been instructed to apply more scrutiny to job offers, wages, and even moral fitness, echoing Trump's earlier executive order that injected loyalty reviews into the process. This has left thousands of families in limbo. A spouse who expected to finally adjust status in 2025 is now told to wait until late 2026 or even 2027. For applicants from countries like India and China, where the visa bulletin already drags on for years, this update feels like a punishment layered on top of an already impossible wait. Families who have done everything by the book, filing petitions, paying fees, responding to RFEs, are still being told to hold on longer. The National Visa Center is also under strain as a result of these changes. Once USCIS approves a green card petition, the NVC is supposed to move quickly to schedule consular interviews. But October's guidance includes expanded consular discretion. That means officers abroad now have greater authority to deny visas if they believe an applicant poses a loyalty or public safety concern. Already, immigrant families are reporting cancelled interviews, indefinite administrative processing, and requests for extra documents that stretch far beyond what was previously required. Work permits, too, are caught in the October update. For many immigrants, the ability to work legally through an employment authorization document is what keeps their families afloat while waiting for green card approvals. In the past year, processing times for EAD renewals had grown dangerously long, forcing workers into gaps where they could not legally work while waiting for a new card. USCIS has now introduced automatic extensions in some categories, but at the same time, it has tightened eligibility rules. Applicants are being asked to provide additional evidence of continuous residence and lawful status, and in some cases, new fees are being introduced. The result is a mixed picture, a small safety net for some, but more barriers for many others. The Trump administration argues that these changes are about restoring integrity to the immigration system. Officials point to fraud cases and say that stronger reviews are needed to protect American jobs. But critics call the October update a continuation of the same pattern we've seen all year: longer waits, higher costs, and more opportunities for USCIS to issue denials or RFEs. For families already weary from endless delays, the updates feel less like reform and more like sabotage. The Visa Bulletin for October 2025 reflects this tension. While there were modest advances in some employment-based categories, family preference categories remain stagnant. The F2A category, which covers spouses and minor children of green card holders, is no longer current and is now backlogged by several months. The F4 category, covering siblings of US citizens, remains stuck in place with decades-long waits. For families abroad who depend on consular processing, the October Bulletin is a cruel reminder that reunification remains far away. Interviews are another part of the October changes. Applicants across multiple categories are reporting that consular interviews are not only being delayed, but are taking on a different tone. Questions are going beyond employment details and into political views, loyalty to the United States, and even social media activity. Immigration lawyers say this is part of the new moral fitness screening, which gives officers wide discretion to approve or deny cases. For families who prepared for years, a single officer's judgment on subjective questions can now decide their future. RFEs are also on the rise. October's update appears to have triggered a surge in requests for additional evidence, especially in employment-based cases. Applicants are being asked to resubmit documents that were already provided, or to produce new kinds of proof that were never previously required. Each RFE adds months to the timeline, leaving families and employers frustrated. Some worry that this is part of a strategy to deliberately slow down approvals, effectively shrinking legal immigration without needing to pass new laws. For deportation cases, the October update signals a harsher stance as well. USCIS has been instructed to coordinate more closely with ICE in cases where applications are denied. That means that families who once felt safe applying for status adjustments now fear that a denial could lead to removal proceedings. Immigration advocates warn that this creates a chilling effect, discouraging people from filing legitimate petitions out of fear of deportation. The human cost of these October changes cannot be ignored. Families are waiting longer, couples are separated, children are aging out of categories, workers are losing jobs because of delayed work permits. Employers are struggling to fill positions as green card approvals stall. The stress is not just emotional, but financial, with families spending thousands of dollars on legal fees, only to find their cases delayed indefinitely. Trump's supporters argue that these measures are necessary to protect American workers and safeguard the nation. They say that immigrants who are loyal, qualified, and fully compliant will still succeed. But critics respond that the system is no longer about fairness. It is about unpredictability. By stretching timelines, increasing denials, and layering on vague new requirements, the administration is making the immigration journey feel impossible for ordinary families. Looking forward, the big question is whether courts or Congress will intervene. Lawsuits are already being prepared, challenging the loyalty and moral fitness provisions. Advocacy groups are pushing for greater oversight of USCIS, demanding transparency about why processing times are increasing even as application volumes remain steady. For now, though, families must brace themselves for a system that has grown more hostile, more uncertain, and more expensive. Behind the headlines, the reality is stark. Every update to processing times represents a child waiting to see a parent. Every delayed work permit represents a paycheck lost. Every cancelled interview represents a family's dream put on hold. October's USCIS updates are not just administrative tweaks. They are real obstacles in the lives of immigrants who already gave everything to this process. The message from the Trump administration is clear. Immigration will be harder, slower, and less predictable. And while officials claim this is about integrity and security, the cost is being paid by families, workers, and communities who want nothing more than to live, work, and contribute in the United States. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas, such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration News Channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.